And we are live. Welcome, everyone, on YouTube and Twitter. We're actually also live on our Big and DAO Discord as well. But welcome, everyone. This is, as promised, the daily live stream right around 12 p.m. PST, which is 7 p.m. GMT. And as usual, every day we'll go live for maximum 1 hour to go over kind of state of the market, the latest news, which today is the China FUD, how Bitcoin price is doing, Ethereum chart, Bitcoin dominance TA. We'll go over the current altcoin picks that I have been watching and consistently kind of covering since the past week. We'll follow up on each one of those. And if any narratives and new updates for things I'm looking at, I'll also do that, and then we'll do Q&A in the end. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump right into it. Of course, front and center today, there's the China FUD. So let's do that. Lagged a little bit. Okay, so let me share screen here. Share screen. Cool. So what is the latest China FUD today? So China again, for probably the 100th time at least, vows to clamp down on cryptocurrency trading and bans crypto mining. So this is the headline on Washington Post. And let's just read into it. This is the first time I bring into this latest development as well, but it's mostly just entertainment, to be honest. So China on Friday escalated its crackdown on cryptocurrency trading, issuing a nationwide ban on crypto mining and reiterating that all virtual currencies were considered illegal in the country. So first off, mining has been moving out of China since I think March, April-ish, right? That is not news, right? Majority of, I mean, there used to be about 40% of the total hashing power of Bitcoin in the province of Sichuan because of their hydro renewable energy. So, electricity is super cheap and there's a lot of electricity wasted there because they generate so much with their dams. But a ton of that has been kind of moving out of China already. So this isn't any news for the mining ban. In terms of crypto trading, so let's just read more into this. 10 government agencies vow to resolutely clamp down on the industry in the name of national security and social stability. So yeah, to be honest, I'm Chinese, and I know there's this certain culture of the retail investors in China are what they call 韭菜 or a leak. So there's if you imagine kind of crypto Twitter and influencers and things of that nature really being shady and promoting bad things, like that is way more prominent in China. So yeah, there is a bit of truth there to in the name of social stability. And let's see. Virtual currencies do not have the same legal status as legal currency. Yeah, that's always been the case. I mean, China has already deployed their digital yuan, which has been in trial since the beginning of the year in pretty major cities. I think the first one was Hangzhou. Yeah, so in the face of that, I mean, they're not going to allow something like Tether, the USDT, to be freely circulating as this stablecoin that's especially backed by the US dollar, right? So that was, I mean, comes as no surprise to anybody. But yeah, nonetheless, right? Bitcoin has seen a pretty significant 5% drop today. In the grand scheme of things, right? If you look at the current chart, I mean, that's this candle here. So is it a big correction? No, not really. Like, it's way smaller than the two major drops that we've seen in just the past 2 weeks. So price-wise, nothing significant, right? So this just again, I think this cements the idea that governments, they will try to ban crypto, and whether that's China, whether it's the US doing like weird shit, but at the end of the day, it's a global currency. At least Bitcoin is, right? And with the nature of not just me and you and all the miners being competing against each other for on this kind of very open, fair market, but nations themselves are competing against each other. So yeah, you can declare it's illegal, but you're also kind of missing out on incredible opportunities. So that's it's not going to work like people say. So here they even mentioned this. While some internet users mock China's 100th ban of trading cryptocurrency, some in China Friday were despondent. All believers die in the hands of the party. One wrote on Weibo. Yeah, I mean, true, but that's depends on where you're trading, right? I mean, it's not like there are. If you were here in 2017, when those kind of when the ICO ban actually came out, right? That was actually a big blow to the users because now you actually could not participate in ICOs in China, whereas before it was like very freely, right? And exchanges, they're all in China, so there's no IP lock, anything like that. You can start an exchange in China that was totally fine. There were in fact a ton of exchanges in China back in the day. So that ban was more, actually practical in the days following. But this, like, we already know there's no big exchanges in China, right? And what are the kind of players left? You have like Huobi, OKX. You have a few others that are supposedly like Chinese team, but not really situated in China, right? Binance is even CZ is Chinese, but you get the idea. I mean, there's not like anything you can really crack down. Miners have moved out. There's no exchanges in China. People trading in China that they either use DeFi or they use some other exchanges, right? It's not like, oh, you were a Chinese citizen before, but now you could trade, but now you can't. You never really could. So all the people that were already blocked out, it's not like they all of a sudden are also blocked out even more. They're just, the situation is still the same. So yeah, I don't know what to say. I don't know what more to say. It's it is what it is, right? China FUD will always bring down the market a little bit every time they come out, but that's exactly how I'm treating it. And also, just on the note of typical news that comes out in the mainstream, it's never really that practical to see these things and try to act after, right? Because it's way too big, and if there were price actions, right, most of that would have been driven by the actual large miners that would have moved out of China already since a long time, or if any large exchanges, they would have hedged their risk already or been shut down for a long time already. So, the market is not driven by retail. So when a news is released to the entire world and every retail trader, then most likely it's priced in. So it's not really that useful, not practical to act on, and that's why I just treat it as entertainment. We break it down, but that's it. So so that's the China FUD. And looking at Bitcoin price right now, we did not fully cement this kind of bounce move, right? And now we have dipped back down to this buy zone that we've been watching since Monday. So that's from 38K to 42.5. And actually, let me change the banner here to Bitcoin analysis. Here we go. So yeah, again, my analysis is still the same, right? This bounce since 30K, right? The key higher low to hold here, the key support to hold is 38K. And if Bitcoin breaks below 38, that would be quite concerning, as that would have printed a lower low, right? So the downtrend will be invalidated, but uptrend will be invalidated. But until that happens, nothing, worrying me yet, right? I'm still treating this zone from 38 to 42 as buy zone. So yeah, we're now at that range, and if I did want to deploy more capital into Bitcoin, I would be doing that right now. But since I'm more watching altcoins, more buying opportunity right now for me personally. Next up, let's look at ETH. And we just switch the thing here. So Ethereum, right about this. Actually, no, this is in the, I was looking at the Binance chart here. So again, back to the same buy zone, right around 2.9K, which was tested as 3 times support, resistance here, twice as support here in August, and now we're revisiting this zone. So yeah, right around 2.9K is the region where I'll start entering. So that's pretty much right now. I don't have any stop loss set for ETH because the entire market, right? Any altcoin is heavily hinged on how Bitcoin does in this correction, right? Whether it shows itself just being a short-term correction or a major downtrend. So I don't have any stop loss for ETH based on ETH price, but I am watching Bitcoin price very closely for that 38K, right? So if we have any, let's say 2 to 3 days of closes below that, then pretty much I'll have to try to like reconsider all my altcoin positions, including ETH, including everything else we'll talk about. But that's how I'm protecting my downside here. But yeah, so far so good because Bitcoin is still looking pretty healthy. Next up, we have Bitcoin dominance. So that's BTC.D. Let's bring this up. So just to reiterate yet again, we are still in a major downtrend, right? Since January of 2021, 5 months of downtrend, so 5 months of alt season, followed by about a 3-month correction here, and then this recent breakdown out of this ascending wedge here toward the downside. So so far so good. The long-term trend is still down, so we're still in a long-term alt season. In the very short term, right, on the 4-hour chart, we were watching this 42.5% level, just to give it a whole number, as a potential short-term reversal here. Let me just go close the window there. 1 second. There are planes passing by, so that's super loud. Okay, so in order for the short-term reversal to play out, we need to be very careful of a breakout above this neckline, right? So that would give us a shoulder, head, and another shoulder. So this would be an inverse head and shoulders reversal, which would give us the first target of 45%. So so far hasn't played out. So I still just have this level here, but haven't acted on it because the pattern hasn't fully formed itself. But just to be careful of that. But until then, you know, even in the very short term, there isn't too much of any short-term moves for Bitcoin dominance towards the upside. So I continue to follow the same analysis of major trend is down. So I continue to be in altcoins, assuming we are still in alt season. And even if, right, this pattern does form, right, where we have this inverse head and shoulders forming here, still the breakout retest and the next target will only be about 45%, which in the grand scheme of things, right, if you really zoom out, that would still just be a short-term pullback for Bitcoin dominance before still, I would say, a larger downtrend. So yeah, major alt season in the very long term still happening. So nothing to worry about at all, in my opinion. Obviously, watching 42.5% here, just in case anything happens in the very short term. So I'll keep you guys updated, but so far so good. So with this assumption, and also with the fact that we've been watching Bitcoin still looking healthy, we can pretty comfortably, observe altcoins and try to find our favorites to enter. So throughout going down on the market cap list, right, we went over our favorites. We'll just go over those really quick again. Based on market cap, first one is AVAX. So AVAX USDT. Entry for us was right around $55. The previous all-time high retest, right here, right in on February 9th. Recently, we broke above this previous all-time high and came down to test it before bouncing, right? So this is typically a really good entry opportunity. So still holding the position from here. I wouldn't add right here, but like if we get any sort of dips close to 55, I would add even more. So that's for AVAX. Next one we're watching was Luna, or Terra is the chain's name. Same thing, right? Right around $22 to $24, right? Previous all-time high. Again, this bounce so far so good, right? Still looking very strong. Since our kind of Monday entry, I think that's when the first time we talked about it. And then what else? Moving on down the list more, we have Algorand. I'll go USDT. This one is still giving us a bit more entry opportunity here. So right around $1.70, right? It's exact same analysis as AVAX, as Luna, right? Previous all-time high retest here. So right around $1.70. Along with that, we have Atom or Cosmos. This one has kind of started to take off already. Still holding this, but if we get any retest around the $30 range, I would enter some more. And lastly, not lastly, but what's something else? eGold or Elrond is the chain's name. eGold USDT. This one is still kind of in our buy range between $1.95 to $2.35. Right. So yeah, so far so good. Still opportunities there. Now, my overall play with all these layer ones, AVAX, Luna, Cosmos, Algorand, Elrond, I would even put Near in here, right? Near USDT and Phantom, right? There's actually a lot of these. Yeah, Near, we also have drawn these since yesterday. Previous all-time high right around $7.30. Still giving us another retest here to enter. Last one I would say fits the list is Phantom. Also right around 93 cents here is the all-time high retest. And maybe just one last is Harmony 1. This one so far is the weakest. It hasn't even broken above its all-time high. So I wouldn't say this is a good bet. So I'd skip this. So all of these guys that I just mentioned, again, the list, AVAX, Luna, Algorand, Cosmos, Phantom, Near, Elrond, right? They're all in the same narrative of EVM compatible layer ones. And because this overall narrative is very strong right now, these guys all have in some way or another liquidity mining incentives to incentivize developers and users to move to their platform, move to their network. I'm pretty much hedged in all of these, not hedged, but positioned in all of these layer one assets. That's not to say that all of them will dramatically pump from their previous all-time high, just like Solana did, right? It pumped from $55, the previous all-time high, to 200. Not necessarily all of these will. In fact, maybe only half of them will. The other half will just kind of like slow down, lag behind, and not move much. So prime example is Harmony, right? Harmony is clearly the slowest mover here. And everything that all of these we just covered, right? AVAX and Luna are currently leading. Cosmos is also pretty good, but again, you don't want to try to look at the fundamentals and see, okay, like I just like these guys design a little bit better, because that's not really actionable, right? They're all very similar. So the real winners will only be determined once the narrative plays out, right? Once you get position in all of these and see which ones actually start leading. So that's how I'm playing this, right? I have all of these, whichever ones that will start kind of uptrending and pumping, I will keep. Whichever ones just stay around the previous all-time high and even dips below, that will be a sign of weakness. In which case, you can pretty much deduce that not much developer activity and not much demand is actually happening on that chain. So that's how I will be deciding which layer ones to hold. But so far, not clear yet as to which ones will be kind of leading this this narrative. So yeah, that's why I covered all of them. Okay, so that's that. Let's look at some mid-cap altcoins, medium risk picks here. And CoinMarketCap. And just checking on Discord to see if see if we got any major questions. Can you go over Bacon Farm? Yeah. So that's it's coming out in very soon. Actually, it's I'll go over the questions in the very end. That's a good question. So CoinMarketCap, the kind of medium risk altcoins aside from the layer one network narrative that I'm currently watching. So here are the list. We have Joel. This is the leading DEX on AVAX. Right now sitting at around $4. This is another sign of resilience where even though with this China FUD, with Bitcoin taking another 5% dump today, this guy's still holding up. So these are the ones you want to be positioned in. So I still have a lot of Joel. I'd say around $3, $3.50 is probably a better entry, but still quite undervalued in my opinion. Yeah, so I have a lot of Joel. And refer back to yesterday's video because there's a comprehensive analysis of how I was looking at the entire AVAX ecosystem and which ecosystem tokens was actually outperforming AVAX coin itself, and the only one there was Joel, right? We also looked at like Yak and Avalanche, which were kind of going in parallel as AVAX coin, and Pangolin, Penguin Finance, Snowball, the other ones, they are lagging behind AVAX coin, which is not a good idea. That means they're the losers in the ecosystem. Joel was the only one that was outperforming. So check on yesterday's video. There's a timestamp there. Next up, again, I'll keep mentioning these. So Spell. This is the multi-chain, multi-collateral MakerDAO equivalent. Very bullish on this. And today it's down 13%, right? From following today's news. So great opportunity, I'd say. Yeah, great opportunity. So I'm loading up on Spell today. Yeah. Along with that, there's ICE or Popsicle Finance. So ICE is the ticker name. And this one has actually pretty much recovered already. It was down a bit this morning, but has already recovered. So let's see here. 7 days, maybe. Yeah, this morning was down as low as $5.80, but now it's already $6.50. So yeah, it's showing incredible resilience. In fact, it's kind of in a trading range right now between $7 and $5.80-ish. Yeah, so sideways, even though market is looking shaky. So this is incredible resilience. So I still hold a lot of ICE or Popsicle Finance. Another example here, Quant, QNT. Consistent uptrend, right? Quant, we can actually chart on TradingView. Quant USDT. I think I was charting on Kucoin. Yeah. So the consistent uptrend is shown here with more higher highs and higher lows, right? So higher low here, higher low here, higher low here. So this dip that we're currently seeing, we wanted to stay above $250, this previous low. So yeah, so far so good. We are back in the buy range. between 250 to around 320. So yeah, this is the range to accumulate quant because you have a very clear stop loss below, let's say 240, right? Because if we close that, then we're likely to head to the next higher low around 180, right? So that's how you set stop losses, play level by level. Okay, so quant and KSM, also another good one to watch because the crowd loans are still happening. And again, KSM is also in our buy zone between 270 and 350. Stop loss right below this buy zone around 260, right? A bit of update on Lost Poets. So there was a big, actually not big announcement, but we already knew that the reveal is going to be, the details were going to be announced today. So they have been. And you can now go on their Twitter, and you can go on Pac's Twitter, which is the main artist, and find all of the kind of updates for what's happening right now. So apparently, I'm pretty sure they're all on the website. There's currently a countdown for, I think, another maybe 18 hours left until you can start converting your pages to poets. But just as this, right? So there are 65,000 total pages. All of them could be converted to poets, right? The countdown is 17 hours from now. But not necessarily all of them will be converted, because for each poet that you have, you can actually feed individual pages to them and unlock more attributes. In this case, they're calling these words. So it's really weird. Like, so these poets, the more pages you give them, the more words they unlock, and the more words they have, these poets can create poems. Or practically speaking, it's you changing the smart contract to the state of the smart contract to reorder these words to create poems. I don't know exactly the benefits of that. That will still be revealed later. But basically, you can consume pages to make some of your poets more rare. That's kind of the gist of it. You can also use pages to rename your poets. So there's actually quite a big utility for pages. So we'll probably not see all pages get converted to poets. But definitely look out for this. This is happening in 17 hours. And OpenSea Lost Poets. I wonder what the floor price is at now. It was already over 1.2 ETH earlier. Might be even higher right now. Just to note, right, when I talked about it, it was 0.32 ETH for the mint, and shortly after the mint, there was a large, like, over a week period where price was around 0.4. So tons of people in our BitConnect Discord got into this. So congrats if you did. That's about a 3x already. Selling for 1.25 ETH right now. So I'm still holding these, targeting, I'd say, around 3 ETH for floor. We'll see what happens. Excited nonetheless. Okay, so that's about it for all the all the prepared content. Let's go into some questions. AR says KSM. Yeah. Well, we just covered KSM. KSM is a great pick. Still very, very hot right now as a result of the crowd loans. Bond asks, can you go over big and farm development? Yeah, so we have the LP farm on ETH right now. That will actually be deployed also on BSC, and so will our NFTs and the whole kind of access structure to gain Discord access and any future access based on the NFTs. And there's a single farm, so stake bacon to earn bacon. Both of those are pretty much ready on BSC. Just stay tuned for the announcement. So that's the bacon farm development. Is Spell good entry currently? Around 3.5, right? Yeah, it's down 13% today. So yeah, I think so. I'm actually most likely gonna load up more spell today. Yeah. Can you go over seller and current chart? Yes. So seller is kind of the one of the leaders that's been talked about a lot recently because they have this cross-chain bridge between like BSC, Phantom, AVAX, all the other chains. So let me see here. Seller chart. Seller. Come on. I think they're on Binance already, actually. Yeah, they are. They've been on Binance for a while. Oof, that pump. Oh my. That's okay. So yeah, chart wise, the opportunities was here. It's not current. The opportunity was right here. Right, previous all-time high again. Right around 10 cents, 0.97. And then the first dip retest from it, you see this explosive growth right after, right? This is what you call kind of price discovery. Yeah, same scenario as the layer 1 UVM analysis we did. But if it comes back down to around 10 cents, I'd say that's an opportunity, but not right now. Look at this. Now you're following in. So okay, that's about it for Discord questions. See if we have any good questions from the stream. Yeah, buy the dip. 1K to 10K series from you. It's not that useful, to be honest. It's fun though. I agree. Let's see. I've spent my day on POC. Have you read everything about all the poets, etc.? Yes, I did. Very excited about it. Thoughts on Serum? It's one of the leading projects in the Solana ecosystem. Yeah, so definitely, I am bullish on it. I don't know about the chart because I haven't checked it for a while, but yeah. No one uses Quant right now, not the retail, but they have a lot of CBDC and I think actual governance partnerships. That's, I think, the last time they researched it. I'm bullish on it mostly because of the chart, though, not because of fundamentals. I'm not bullish on Luxo. I know what it is. It's like this, the guy behind one of the ERC, I think he made ERC20, the founder. He's doing this like kind of supply chain for fashion type of thing, if I understand it correctly. Regarding KSM, do you think the parachain projects will give more return than simply holding stake in KSM during the same time frame? Definitely, yeah. Because if you have KSM, you might as well participate in the crowd loans because you still get your KSM back and you get the parachain project tokens. So that's kind of that's the whole point. So by nature, it will outperform just holding KSM. And I don't think KSM staking is that high. HBAR.link, those are all kind of lagging. I'm not so sure about HBAR, but DOT and Link are lagging because Link isn't too hot of a narrative right now. DOT, parachain auctions still haven't started. So Sunday Swap is a good project. A good niche because it's the leading one of the top dexes that is up and coming on Cardano. So yeah. What's the next trend after NFTs? I'm thinking either privacy or DAOs. I am staking Joe. Yes, X Joe. And I use Beefy Finance to compound it. Okay, I do have to go, guys. So thank you for all the questions. Really appreciate it. Stay tuned for another stream tomorrow. Yeah, sorry for the short stream today, but we'll try to keep it concise and so we can do it every day. Right. So see you again tomorrow. Stay safe out there. Don't panic, right? Don't listen to the China FUD. Yeah. So alt season continues. Hope you all can make some money. I'll see you tomorrow.